to the show, The Total You, with me, your hostess, Evangelist Fareeth Wallace. I thank you for tuning in. I have a special guest today, and this is like a part 2. So, Chris, reintroduce yourself to the people.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Crawford, and I'm joining The Total You today to discuss personal protection, CPL classes.
All right. Okay. I'm going to start off first. How did you get involved with the CPL licensing? Wait, first of all, what is CPL?
CPL is concealed pistol license.
Okay.
In the state of Michigan, we can carry concealed weapons.
Okay.
So, legalize concealed weapons, for, personal protection,
Okay.
protection for yourself, and if you need to protect another individual.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how did you go from, and wait, remember now, he's with RICC.TV, and now you're on with CPL. So how did you get involved with this?
Well, basically, back in 2003, I got my CPL license from a person. I was like, hey, you know what? Being a trainer is pretty cool. I liked how they trained and everything. And it was, at the time, I didn't have a real good job. And I was having my first child. And I just felt that I needed to make some money or be able to have some kind of skill. This was actually my first skill that I got for myself that can supplement my income.
Okay.
So I asked the trainer, how do I become a trainer? Because I would like to get into doing these classes.
Okay.
And he gave me the information. I went and I took a 6-week course.
Okay.
Here in Michigan locally.
Okay.
And I became an instructor. And I did my first course in 2003, October 2003, and I've been doing it for the last 20 years.
All right. Now, you said you took the course in Michigan. Is this through what? The government issue?
Well, it goes through a company called the NRA, the National Rifle Association.
Okay.
Michigan has different courses to where you can take, different certifications from, different accredited places where you can take it. You can take it from the Michigan Gun Coalition, and they recognize classes from there, and they recognize NRA.
Okay.
So I went through the NRA and became an instructor, been an instructor for 20 years, and in 2016, I think it was 2015, I became a training counselor, which is an instructor of instructors.
All right.
So now instead of just instructing people who want to just carry the license, I can instruct instructors to instruct people to carry the license as well.
Okay, because I'm kind of frugal with money, how much does this course cost?
Well, for somebody who want to take their CPL class, the course is going to cost them $100.
Okay.
And we'll go to the range. That's an 8-hour course. We'll go through the gun fundamentals. Most important thing is handling the firearm.
Okay.
Safe storage of the firearm. Well, safety is number one.
Okay.
Handling the firearm. Storage of the firearm.
Okay.
Excuse me. And the rules and regulations and laws of when you can use the firearm and when you can't use the firearm. So that's what we go over, like a 4-step process.
Okay. So a lot of people out there are probably saying, why is she talking about CPL licensing on a program that's promoting church things? So how would you correlate both of those together?
Well, the disciples had swords. It was said that they had swords. I mean, you have to have, the Bible says nothing about a person protecting himself.
Okay.
And the Bible is about family. And the Bible and the Lord, He wants you to protect, your family. Give you the ability to protect your family. So you don't look at it as a weapon. You look at it as a tool of last resort.
Okay.
To protect your life or another individual's life. We have to admit Okay, yes, we believe in the Lord and everything, but there's some devils out here.
All
There's
right.
some people out here that are pure evil.
Okay.
Not saying that they can't change,
Okay.
but if it's either going to be between you or them,
Uh-oh.
you have
Uh-oh.
to you have to I'm not going to when I give my course, I don't lead people. I tell them what I would do and then I let them make the decision on what they're going to do.
Okay. Okay.
If their life is more important than yours, then let them do it if they made to you.
Okay.
But far as I know, you have one life,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
and you
I've
know
got, with all the things that are going on in the world right now, as far as, okay, what was in the news just recently, actually, where the young man went to the wrong door and he knocked on the door and the man came out shooting.
that was just neglectful use of a firearm.
Okay.
See, there's a lot of people that just want to use the gun to see how it works.
Ooh.
Yeah, there is. Okay, and I understand on both ends about gun laws. I understand the Democratic point about we need stricter gun laws.
Okay.
But the problem with that is the stricter gun laws only stop law abiding citizens like ourselves from being able to carry the gun.
Okay.
Um, that was a tragedy, and there's been plenty of more tragedies like that.
Right.
Like, the young girl, I think it was could have been possibly 10 years ago,
Okay.
that knocked on a man's door and he shot through the door
Right.
to kill her. I mean, the law says that you only can use the gun when you're in a situation of death, great bodily harm, or sexual assault.
Okay.
If you're behind the door,
Okay. How can you determine
you're
that?
not in
Yeah.
those situations. If you put yourself in the situation, like you were in safety, you could have called the police if you felt that something was going on.
Okay.
But when you walk out the door and put yourself, we have a no duty to retreat thing where you can be the aggressor, but the problem is you are in the situation. You don't put yourself in a situation.
Okay.
You
Okay.
don't want to put yourself in a situation because I believe personally that'll be an illegal shoot. I'm not a prosecutor. I can't really determine, what it is, but I would classify that as an illegal shoot.
So that's like a person who got into an altercation with somebody at the store and then went and got his gun and then came back with a bang bang.
That is a first degree. That's a first degree murder. I mean, because first degree murder is premeditation.
Okay.
So I can't say that. That's premeditated. This incident happened. You went back and deliberately knew that you were going to get the gun and you knew that you were coming back to do what you're saying. So
Okay.
that would be a premeditated murder.
Okay.
But there's some hotheads out here, but the hotheads will always reveal themselves.
Okay.
They're not going to be hid for long. They're
Okay.
going to show themselves with the gun. They're going to wind up losing their gun.
Okay.
I even taught people that were hotheads that I didn't know. I usually go by referrals.
Okay.
But when I do find a person that's a hothead and they got their license, they wind up losing their license within a few years. So,
Oh, okay.
we don't do, as instructors, we don't do background checks. We tell them what the law says. If they want to apply for the license, they can go ahead and apply for it.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that they didn't do background checks for the license.
No. The instructors don't do background checks.
Oh, okay.
Once they turn their paperwork in, the state and the federal authorities do background checks.
Okay, so anybody can get a CPL, but they can't get a license.
No,
What's the difference?
the CPL is the license.
Okay.
Remember, CPL, concealed pistol
The
license.
Okay.
Okay.
So who does the background check? I'm confusing myself.
The state and the federal government. Once you turn the paperwork in, you'll come to my class.
Okay.
I'll give you paperwork saying that because the state says that you have to take a course before you apply.
Oh, okay.
You'll come to me as an independent contractor per se.
Okay.
To get the paperwork, and then you would take it to the county clerk's office.
Okay.
And apply for the license. And they'll fingerprint you. So they're going to
Okay.
do a fingerprint. They're
Okay.
going to send your fingerprints to the ATF, FBI, or the federal agencies, and
Okay.
then they're going to do their own background check. So you do get an extensive background check to make sure you don't have any felonies or misdemeanors that would
Okay.
stop you from getting the gun.
Okay. You mentioned that you said some hotheads. So when this happens, what do you do?
Well, I don't do anything. The
Okay.
law take care of it themselves.
Oh,
You know, I
okay.
mean, if they do something wrong, they're going to lose the gun.
Okay.
You know, it does not fall back on the instructor. As
Okay.
long as we taught them the class, as long as we taught them by law what we're supposed to teach them, it's
Okay.
never on us.
Okay.
We sign off, hey, they took the course, it's on them what they do with it. We gave them the knowledge. If they're a bad seed, they're a bad seed, and
Ooh,
it'll take care of themselves.
really?
Yeah, they're not going to be out long if they're,
Okay.
if they're criminal minded.
Okay.
I would just more say it like that, more if they're criminal minded.
Okay.
Hmm.
Then it's going to be okay. You said something about they'll lose their license. So how does one lose their license without committing a felony?
Well, you don't. You won't. You
You
lose your
won't?
license if you. I mean, well, without a felony, I guess you can say a something like a if you have a DUI.
A DUI. Okay.
No, DUI is a felony.
Okay.
Reckless driving.
Okay.
That's a misdemeanor.
Okay.
You could lose your license with reckless driving,
Okay.
something like that, on the line. Domestic violence.
Okay.
You can
So
lose your license.
if you come up and you have some misdemeanor charges after you've gotten your CPL, the police or whoever, they'll look at your license. They'll say, "Oh, he's got a CPL, so we're gonna revoke his license."
Yes,
They
exactly.
would do
When
that.
you go to court, if it's one of the ones it's not all misdemeanors,
Mm-hmm.
but if it's one of the ones listed on that list, which, like I say, one of them is the reckless driving,
Okay.
you will lose your license.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Look, I always thought, okay, do you have to then take these courses periodically or?
Every 5 years, you'll take a refresher course,
Okay.
to make sure that you're complying by law. If anything is new
Okay.
going on, we'll refresh you up on things that are new. If not, you just go over a little refreshment course for 3 hours. It doesn't have to be that long anymore.
Okay.
I believe it's 3 hours, 3 to 5 hours, I believe.
Okay.
But I usually just do a full course again,
Okay.
to make sure. But yeah, you take a few hours to do it.
Okay. You also said something about you doing training with the gun. Do you go to the range to do the
Yes,
shooting?
we do.
Okay.
We do a range after the class. It's two parts:
Okay.
classroom and then range.
Okay.
Those are the two parts. You go to the range and you shoot your rounds, like a box of 50 rounds or something,
Okay.
at a reasonable target distance, at a
Okay.
practical target distance,
Okay.
where you can hit the target. I'm not concerned about, in my class, I'm not concerned about you hitting it all right in 10, in the
Okay.
10 area. As long as you can hit the target, you're good enough to
Okay.
carry the gun.
Okay.
I need you to hit the target because
Okay.
in stressful situations, you're not going to be lining up your sights and looking.
Okay.
If somebody's shooting at you, you're just pointing in their direction and you're firing just like they're pointing in a direction and trying to fire at you,
Okay.
trying not to get shot.
Okay.
So, yep.
Okay. Suggestion is to continue target practice then on a regular basis?
I would probably say, I know people usually don't go often. I mean, unless they really like it,
Okay.
but you need to go once a year.
Oh my goodness.
You
Okay.
need to at least go once a year. I would say every 6 months,
Okay.
but you don't have to go every 6 months. But trying to go on the anniversary of you getting your license every year.
Okay.
So that's just going to the range 5 times per license cycle.
Okay.
Because every 5 years you'll have to renew.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So every 5 years, you've got to renew your license because I've seen some people who have gotten pulled over and they say the license was expired.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really pay attention and their license can expire.
Okay.
Now it's a little easier because they have it kind of like where your license will expire when your driver's license expires.
Ah, that's a good one.
So they were trying to get it to the point where you just have one card. If
Okay.
you have a CPL, you can go to the Secretary of State, get it renewed, it had your CPL and your driver's license all on it.
On the same.
Which will be better?
Okay.
And that will really help people not forget.
Right.
So
That's a good idea. Yes.
hopefully that's going to be taking place soon. I know
Right.
my license expired. Once I got my last license, it expires right around the same time my driver's license expires.
Okay.
So now I know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. With a person, okay, and I've seen this, a lot of churches have gotten where an individual come in and they've shot in the church. So are we recommending people to bring their, I'm sorry, I know I'm putting you on the spot, bring their guns into church situations?
I would say yes.
Oh, okay.
I would personally say that I do believe that the more people have guns, the safer things are.
Okay.
Now, a church in Michigan is considered a pistol-free zone
Okay.
unless you have permission from the pastor that you can carry on the grounds.
Okay.
So I believe that any pastor, especially in an urban area, if the person say, "Hey, man, I'm a licensed carrier. Do you mind if I carry?" For the most part, pastors really don't have a problem with it. I haven't seen it yet happen. They allow them to do that because we're in the days of wild.
Yes.
We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean,
True.
we've seen people come in there and commit a mass shooting in a church,
Right.
but people unarmed, and that was a real sad day. I believe it was in Charleston,
Right.
South Carolina. I mean, the story was just sad in itself, where the guy told them what he was going to do, and they decided to say, "Hey, let's just pray for you." And then his response was he was going to not do it, and then Satan spoke to him again, and and just made him do that. I mean, that's just the saddest thing in the world. Now, if somebody had a gun, and I'm not saying that they're going to prevent, the gun is not going to prevent anything,
Right.
but the gun could be an immediate response to stop instead of it being 9 people, maybe it would have been 2 people,
Okay.
you know?
It's a protective measure.
But
Rather.
once we start promoting that, hey, we don't have pistol free zones,
Okay.
that will stop crime.
Okay.
I mean,
I
that
got
won't
you. I got
stop
you.
crime.
Okay, I got you.
It will be, okay, let's just say now we know that a church is a pistol free zone. Somebody's thinking about going into a church, shooting the church up. We don't have any pistol free zones. Now I have to think, wait a minute. If I walk in here, other people might have guns.
Yes.
So now you think twice before you go in there on a mission, unless you're on a suicide mission in the first place, and you just go in there. But still, if everybody had a gun, the casualties won't be as bad.
I remember watching I think it was a Facebook thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a man who came in to a restaurant, and he started shooting up the place, and he walked past this elderly guy who had his back to him, and the guy had his gun, and he had a reaction. So it's like you had to, like you said, protecting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't go into the situation. The man came to where he was. So
Right.
that would have been a way of, okay, whew, too much. Okay, gun sizes.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are different types.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's different types of guns. I mean, you want to carry a small concealed gun is a small gun. I recommend Glock for people.
Okay.
Glock is a good manufacturer. It's affordable and durable.
Okay.
It's a gun with less mechanical, a lot of
Pieces.
small.
Okay.
It doesn't have a lot of moving parts.
Okay.
So the less mechanical parts you're dealing with, the more reliable the gun is going to be.
Okay.
It doesn't have a safety.
Okay.
The guns should not be designed to be safe. It's the person that needs to be the safety. If you don't pull the trigger, the gun won't fire. If you drop the gun won't fire.
Okay.
It won't fire.
Not a Don Knotts thing. Remember he used to...
Right. No. So, no. You want to get a gun. You want to get a quality gun. You're going to spend between $400 and $500 for a Glock. If you want a revolver, the Smith & Wesson small revolvers, 38 specials, 357 magnums.
Oh, Jesus.
Those are,
The high
those are
end, those are the
standards.
big ones.
Right. I don't recommend 25s and 22s.
Okay.
They're easier to shoot, but you just you want something that's going to stop a person
Okay.
from doing what they're doing.
Okay.
You know, yeah, you run into somebody that's just had snorted some cocaine and with a shot of antifreeze,
Oh,
they're not going to feel anything.
okay.
They're already on it. I'm not just making that up randomly. I seen that on an episode of Cops. It's
Okay.
like this guy snorted some cocaine and he drunk a shot of antifreeze and
Jesus.
he couldn't feel anything. They were shooting him and this guy was just standing there. He just would not die. The only thing that killed him is he bled out. Everything, his whole body was just, he was actually the living walking dead. He
Oh,
was already dead, but he was, still coming, so he was able to do some damage on that. So we need to get a gun that's just going to own up to defensive standards. So I would say with a semi-automatic gun, I would say 9 millimeter and higher
okay.
to whatever you can, support and function
Sure.
with your hand, right, with your hand.
Okay.
With a revolver, 38 special and higher,
Okay.
whatever you can,
Okay.
support.
Revolver is the one with
The cylinder, the old Wild West
the
guns.
Wild West.
Yes.
Okay. 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 You mentioned at the beginning about the safety and the storage. So what kind of storage and safety? You said the most guns you don't really want a safety on it, so you have to apply it. Or
Here's basically the thing. The rules are always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction.
okay.
A safe direction is a place where no one will get hit with an accidental discharge
Okay.
of the firearm. Um, Always keep your finger off the trigger until ready to use.
Okay.
That's your safety.
Okay.
Do not pull the trigger and the gun won't fire.
Okay.
The gun's just not, it's going to sit there until you're ready to use it.
Okay.
And then keep the gun unloaded until ready to use.
Okay.
So that's part of safety. You don't want to, if you have children and they're bad or whatever,
Yes.
you
Yes.
don't want to have, I mean, like my children now, my youngest is 17, so he knows where the gun is. He knows how to he's responsible enough to
Okay.
be around the gun. But, other people, you might have a bad seed.
Okay.
If your kids are bad or not,
Okay.
and what they'll do. And
Okay.
you'll see mothers on TV, oh, I can't believe my boy. Yes, you did. You knew he was gonna. You knew he was. You know how he is. You just don't want to believe it. If your son has, or
But we've
son or
seen
daughter has.
these stories where the kids are playing with the with the gun.
Yeah, I see the curiosity. I noticed that my kids, when they were younger, they would look at the gun. They would try to see what I'm doing.
Okay.
So I had to show them, look, man, this gun is in here.
Okay.
And I had to show you and teach you. Once I said that, the curiosity was gone
Okay.
about seeing what I was doing.
Yeah,
everything.
forbidden
Now,
fruit.
don't get me wrong. I keep it locked up,
Okay.
but they do know where the gun is, and if they need to get the gun from me, they can get it from me. They're of
Okay.
that age that they can get it.
They can go get in. Okay. Did you get them CPL training once they got a certain age? That's what I'm going to ask. A certain age.
21.
21.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're not older enough that yet.
Okay.
So 21 is the age to get your CPL.
Okay.
Once they turn 21, if they want it, my daughter doesn't want it at all.
Okay.
She actually did turn 21.
Okay.
So she doesn't want it. She doesn't want it to have nothing to do with guns.
Okay.
She believes in peace on earth, and she doesn't want
Okay.
anything to do with guns. So
Okay.
she won't get it. But my youngest son, once he turns 21, he'll probably want the gun.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
This is really interesting to me. Okay. I know that for a fact, Abundant Faith Cathedral, because I am like the secretary, we actually had those who were going to carry a CPL sign a permission, and we had a documentation of their driver's license.
Mhm.
So that's on record in the church office.
That's exactly how you have to do it. Yep, that's
Yes.
great.
So AFC is locked and loaded, okay?
There we go. Don't go over there to AFC, okay?
And
Don't go there to be
Yeah.
messing around. Come there for the service, enjoy the
Thank you.
service, get the word. Do not come there playing games because they're ready.
Yes, yes. And
Bishop Joel T. Wallace is ready.
and you know what? That's true too, because nowadays we have to, like you said, protect ourselves. It's not like we're going out to find problems, but they're coming in, and you don't know what their mindsets are.
Yes.
Yeah, so they can say, "Oh, I'm coming for service," and then they say, "Well, where's the That's one thing. Where's the pastor?" And they looking specifically for the pastor so they can do some harm. So,
Or they're trying to wait till the offering happen and then stick up the
oh
people
my God.
before the offer. Now, I'll be honest with you. Because I'm an instructor and I do these classes, I just hear me out. I think of ways to rob people.
Oh, gee, that's it. That's the
So
way to
I
do it.
can think, okay, it's like, okay, this is not safe. This person's not paying attention. Walking back here is not good because a person can ambush the person from this side or come in.
Okay.
Now, I do have a friend that actually I wanted to recommend come on the show, and you might want to talk to him too again about these
Okay.
situations because he does the classes more than me. It's a gentleman by the name of David Wilborn,
Okay.
and he's an officer at Highland Park Police Department, and he does church security, a church security check.
Okay.
So he'll tell you where cameras need to be. I see
Okay.
that you have cameras and stuff,
Okay.
but he'll give you a safety plan,
Okay.
and a strategic plan where you can, where's a safe room, where's a safe
Okay.
zone for everybody to gather up together and things for
Oh,
security of
that's
that nature. So
awesome.
he
That's
does that.
awesome.
And I'll, like reach out to him again and, get you in contact with him and he'll come out and do
A
say,
safety check
okay, like
on
maybe
all the
this camera
churches,
needs to be
really.
here
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So,
And that's something most churches really do need. They need that information about, are they secure when they're inside those four walls? Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. I thank you.
no problem.
Okay. Is there anything else? I mean, make sure we get the name of, what's his name again? The officer's
His
name?
name is Officer David Wilborn.
David Wilborn. So we'll maybe get in touch with him and maybe we'll have him on the show again soon.
Okay.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Anything else you want to really stress or press out there for us?
Well, basically, anybody that wants to get their CPL, they can actually go through Rick TV.
Okay.
You can go to the rick.tv website.
Okay.
Rick.tv. That's RICC.tv. You can leave a message and say, I want CPL instruction.
Okay.
If I don't have time to do it, I can forward your information to the gentleman I just recommend, David Wilborn, or one of my instructors who's ever, ready at the time that you want to take the class. I just want to stress to everybody, just be safe and get your CPL.
All right. I'm one of the people who's going to stay close to someone who's carrying. Okay. I won't carry,
I understand.
but I'll let them protect me. You got it?
I understand.
I thank you for joining us. It has been a lot of information, and I'm probably going to glean some more from you later, okay?
Okay.
Because I'm going to need a lot more information because a lot of people really need to know how much protection they are allowed by the governments.
Yes.
Because that's the thing that's really going on now.
Okay.
They want to curtail people, and it's like, what are your rights for this? I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. This has been a very interesting show with Mr. Chris Crawford. Amen. For CPL training. And like he said at the end, if you want to get in touch for training, please get with him. And I'll say this until the next time. This is about the total you, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And I hope that you'll tune in 7 a.m., 7 p.m. every day. Welcome and bye-bye.